Hello everybody, this is Sharon from Sharon's Crochet Design. Today we are going to do this rectangle basket. It's a sturdy, stands up nice and sturdy basket. I did the handles on the side, little handles on each end. I did it in two-tone colors. What I love about this pattern is once you get the base done the size you want it, then you can make it any size you want, really. And I'll explain that more as we go in the video. The finished size of this one is about 12.5 inches long by about 7.5 inches wide. It's 5 inches tall, but when I was creating it, the bottom of it ends up being about 7 inches by 5 inches to do the bottom. And that's how you will determine what size you want to do as doing this bottom. Like I said, we'll get into more of that later. This is done in a stitch called the lemon peel stitch. It's just a fun stitch to do, and I use macrame cord to do it. So all kinds of uses. You can do it one color if you want. You can make it, like I said, any size that you want, rectangle, any height that you want. You don't have to do the handles if you don't want to. I just like the handles. I just think it gives it something extra. Well, let's get started with the supplies for this. So for this basket, I'm going to do these colors in a sage green. Let's see if I can get us in frame better here. It's a sage green. I don't know the color. I use a 3mm macrame cord to make this basket. I don't know the exact, like I said, I don't know the exact color of this. I just call it a sage green. And then for the secondary color, again, it's a 3mm macrame cord, and I'm going to use this burgundy or wine color. That'll be for the top part. You're going to need a 5mm crochet hook. That gives it a nice tight weave when you're crocheting it, so that it'll be good and sturdy for you. You're going to need 4 stitch markers, 4 stitch markers, 3 in one color and the 4th one in a different color, and I'll explain that to you as we go. You're going to need your measuring tape so that you can see what size you want to make it as you go. You're going to, of course, need a pair of scissors and your darning needle. So without any further ado, let's get busy. Okay, let's get started. So to start this project, you're going to make a slip knot, and you're going to chain 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Now, you're going to crochet down one side, and then we're going to come back up and crochet up the other side. So you're going to do a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. This never counts as a chain. The one that's on your hook does not count as a chain. So you're going to count 1, 2. So in that second chain from the hook, you're going to do a single crochet, and you're going to crochet 17, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, twirls up, it gets its little tail going, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. All right, you've come down one side. You've crocheted 17 single crochets. In this very last chain, you're going to put 3 single crochets. And when you do this, you're going to put a stitch marker in your first of those 3. So 1, put in your stitch marker. And then do the next 2, 2, 3. It gets fidgety because you're only using a 5mm hook with this project, and that gives it a good, stiff, sturdy basket. Now you're going to single crochet 17 down the back side of your chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 'and you're crocheting over your tail, by the way. Sorry. 5, 6, 7. I'm going to go ahead and cut this tail. Give it a little tug. Get it good and tight and snip this tail. Eight. Did your 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm right. I always count behind myself. 9, 10. Brain ain't what it used to be, and that's okay. It's not going to keep me from crocheting. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And this last, that's number 17. Now, again, you're going to single crochet in this very last stitch here, 3 single crochets, and you're going to again mark the first one. So 1, mark the first one, 2, and 3. Now this is going to bring us to the end of that round. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this stitch with a different color stitch marker. So we will know, we won't have to do that. Well, we will be doing it with a different color, and you'll see as we go why. It's just going to indicate to you that this is the end of a round. So that's why we're doing that. So that is the end of that round. Now, for round, excuse me, 2, we're going to single crochet until we get to this first stitch marker. So you don't have to count anymore. You're just going to, this first one is going to be hard to do. It's going to be kind of tight. Won't be as bad next time you're going around, but like I said, using a 5mm with 3mm cord is a little tight. So you're going to do 1 single crochet all the way down until you get to the next stitch marker. No more counting. We're done with our counting. You can make this. You don't have to use macrame cord if you don't want to. I would recommend if you could use it a bulky weight yarn. If you're going to use a worsted weight yarn, I would recommend you do at least 2 strands. And of course, you're going to want to adjust your hook according to what type of yarn you're using. And again, different types of yarn, if you're not going to use the macrame cord, will alter the size. But with this pattern, what I love about this pattern, and I, when I was making it, designing it, and creating the pattern and making the basket, is that once you get this second round done, it's just a repeat until you get the base the size you want it to be for your basket. The basket I'm making now is for a particular area that I want it, and I don't want it as large as the other one. So we've come to the stitch marker here. Again, we're going to put 3 single crochets in that stitch marker. This time, you're going to mark not the first one, but the second. You're going to mark the second single crochet in that set of 3. That was 2. Here's 3. Then in the next stitch, you're going to do 1 single crochet. It's hard to get in there. And then in the next stitch, you're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2. You're going to mark that second single crochet. Put in your third one. Now you're going to come down this side until you get to the next stitch marker. You're just going to crochet all the way down. Again, and like I said, you don't have to count, because you're just crocheting from stitch marker to stitch marker. The pattern after this round, when we do round 3, you'll see that the pattern is going to be the same, and it's going to be a repeat until you get it to the desired size that you want it. So you're just going to single crochet all the way down. Working with this macrame cord, I love it, because it gives it a nice sturdy, gives you a nice sturdy basket. But my muscles aren't what they used to be, and it's a challenge for me. But that's how much I love the finished project. When I get the project finished and I have the basket, I was like, okay, it's worth it. Just rest my muscles for a couple hours, and whoa, goodness, okay. Keep popping. I'm pulling so hard on it to keep that tension tight and working with this smaller hook that I keep pulling myself out. So we're down to this stitch marker. And again, you're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, mark it on that second one, 3, single crochet in this next stitch here. Excuse me. 1 single crochet in this next one. Okay, it grabbed a piece there. 1 single crochet. Then in this last stitch, with that stitch marker, you're going to again put 3 single crochets. You're going to mark the second one. And you see you're marking it with that different color because this is where this round ends. You don't need to mark your last stitch. You just need to have the second single crochet in this corner as your identifier that that is the end of the round. So now you're going to move on to round 3. And with this one, it's going to be, like I said, a repeat until you get it to the end. So you're going to just single crochet all the way to the next stitch marker. All the way down to the end. The one I made in the white and gray, you're gonna laugh at me. So I like my coffee, and I've got me a coffee bar, and I use that I made that basket to put in my K-cups for my coffee maker. I don't just use K-cups, but I like to have K-cups in there for different flavors and when I have company come over. So that's what that basket is for, to hold my K-cups. And I'll probably have a picture or a video of it in the beginning of this video just to show you where I use it. So this one is going to go in my bathroom, just to hold some odds and ends in there. And I've got a particular place I want it, so I know what size I want it to be, the finished size I want it to be. So here we're coming to the stitch marker. So remove the stitch marker. Again, you're going to put 1, 2, mark the second one. It's always 3 in the corners, but mark the second of the 3 single crochets. And when we get finished the end of round 3, I'm going to show you why. Okay, now, so we did 1 before. Now we're just going to single crochet across. And this is, you don't have to count. This is why you don't have to count. You're just literally going from stitch marker to stitch marker. So you're just going to single crochet in each stitch across till you get to the next stitch marker. Then in that stitch, again, you're going to do another corner. So you're going to do 3 single crochets, 1, 2, and in this last one, in this second one, you're going to put your stitch marker, then you're going to do your last of the 3. Sorry, there's a dog in the dog park behind me barking, and it's kind of got my attention a little bit. So now you're going to single crochet down this other side till you get to that next stitch marker. Like I said, you can make this any size you want it. Now you're going to want to take into consideration when you're measuring the bottom, as I showed you, the bottom of the white and gray one that I did, the bottom of it was about 11.5 inches by 5 inches, but the finished product was 12.5 by 8. So at the top, and of course the top is going to give a little bit. So you're going to want to make it, if you have a specific place you want it, you're going to want to make the base smaller than what you want your finished product. I want my finished product for this my finished size for this one to be about 7 by 5. So I don't think it's going to work out quite the dimensions like that. That's just a rough estimate of what I'm going to want. But I'm going to go smaller, probably 6 inches. And then see how wide it is. I don't want it any bigger than 7 inches long. So I'll just have to see. I probably am going to do it about 6 inches or so, 5.5, 6 inches. So here we're coming to this next to the last stitch marker in this row. Remove your stitch marker, put your 3 single crochets. Mark the second one. Put in your 3rd single crochet, 1 single crochet in each stitch till you get to the next single crochet. And at this last corner, last single crochet in this round, again you're going to do 3, 1, 2, here we go again, 2, mark it, and this is the different color, so it's indicating that this is going to be the end of this round, and your 3rd single crochet. So now, let's just look at this a minute. You can see with this, to make it a rectangle, what we've done, the way we've done this pattern, by marking this second, the second of the 3, it's going to give it a squared off look. So that's what gives it the rectangle and not the oval shape for this basket. So, you know, like I said, I want this one to be finished about 7 inches long. Well, it is 7 inches. I was gonna want it a little bit bigger than that. I'm gonna do another round or 2. I'm learning as I go with this, actually, guys. So that is fine. I'm gonna do one more round of this, and then I'm gonna come back and show you how to do the sides. But you continue, you pause the video here, and you continue with row 3 of going single crochet to stitch marker 3, marking the second one, single crochet across to stitch marker, 3 single crochets, mark the second one, and do that around until you get it to the desired size that you want. Like I said, this big basket that I did ended up being about 11.5 inches long. So depending on how big you want yours, just pause the video here and keep going until you get the base where you want. I'm going to do, I think, 1 more round, maybe 2, until I get it where I want it. I think I'm going to do 2 more rounds. And then I'm going to come back and show you how to do your sides. So stop the video here, and we'll meet back up when you are ready to start your sides. Okay, I ended up doing 3 more rows. So the bottom of my basket now is about 3.5 inches wide by about 9 inches long. So it's a little bit bigger than what I had measured a spot for. So I probably will give it a new home in my bathroom, but that is okay. I've got plenty of places I can use it. So once you've gotten to your desired size for your base, now we're going to start to work up the sides. So to do this, you're still going to be doing single crochets, but for this round, you're going to be doing in the back loop only. Now to do that, you'll see that you have your V, and you usually go through both of those stitches. But if you look at it from the top, within the V, you've got a front loop and a back loop. We're going to work the back loop only. To do that, you're going to go through the center of your V, grab through the back loop, grab that back loop, yarn over, pull up through, and then complete your single crochet. And you're going to do that all the way around. So don't go through both. You're going to be going in the center to do the back loop. You can do a front loop and a back loop. You could, if you were doing a front loop, you would go through the front here and come up through the center, and that's getting your front loop involved. We are going to involve the back loop. So we're going to go through the middle of the V, yarn over, pull up, and complete our single crochet. So come down the side doing your back loop only, single crochet in the back loop only of each stitch. Now from here on out, we're not going to be doing our corners, our 3 single crochets in each corner. So as we go here, we're going to leave, of course, this stitch marker in because that's going to indicate the end of each round. But we are going to, as we go through, we're going to be taking out those stitch markers that you've put in. You're going to come through and do your back loop only in each stitch around. And then when you get to the end, I'm going to show you this first corner. Then we will pause the video and let you come back around to the end of the round, and then we'll start working up the sides. This, doing the back loop only, that's going to kind of put a little bit of a crease, a fold in your stitch, in your basket, so it makes it come up the sides a little bit easier. So that's the purpose of that. So go ahead and continue down this side, doing 1 single crochet in the back loop of each stitch. I would love to see your finished baskets, what colors you've used. And like I said, I'm using a 2-tone. I just wanted to do a 2-tone. You don't have to. You can do 1 color. If you know me and you follow my videos, my motto is, it's your project. You do it how you want it. That's why you can choose your size. You can do your colors however you want to. 2 colors, 1 color. It's all up to you. So you can see here we're coming to this stitch marker. Take it out, get rid of it, don't need it anymore. You're going to continue in the back loop only, but you're not doing any increases. You're just doing 1 single crochet in each and every stitch around. So you go ahead and do this all the way around. 1 single crochet in each and every stitch in the back loop all the way around. Discard your stitch markers as you go. When you come to the end of the round, which is your different color stitch marker will indicate that you're at the end of the round, you will put 1 single crochet in the back loop of that stitch where that last stitch marker is, and stop there. That's when we're going to come back and I will show you how to work your sides. So pause your video here, continue to do the single crochet all the way around in the back loop of each stitch, all the way around until you get to this last stitch marker. Do a back loop only, single crochet in that last stitch, mark it again, and then come back and we'll start working up the sides. Okay, we have come around with the back loop only all the way around. We're going to now do, I'm going to do this last, you probably already have, I'm going to do this last back loop only, single crochet, that last stitch, mark it again with my stitch marker. You know, we're going to be doing continuous rounds from here on out with a stitch called the lemon peel stitch. And you can see, let me just show you, you can see the little ridge that you have here where you did the back loop only, that is what's going to pull it up and make it give you a neat finish there on your side. So that's why we do the back loop only for that stitch. Now to go up the sides, we're going to do the lemon peel stitch. And I am going to, I don't know how many rows I'm going to do yet. I'm going to show you if I can. On the white basket that I did 7 rows. This was the row with the back loop only. You can see the ridge. And then I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows in the white. Then I did another 3 rows in the gray. So I don't know how many I'm going to do with this one. I don't think it's going to be 7 rows because I don't think I'm going to want it. I know I'm not. I'm not going to want it as tall as that one. So when you are doing your sides, you're going to want to just, like you did with the bottom, you're going to want to do the lemon peel stitch around and around and around until you get it the height that you want it. And then we will come back together when it's time to change colors. And then I will show you how to do the handle and finish it off. So let's get started doing this round of the lemon peel stitch. And a lemon peel stitch is really easy. It maybe sounds like it might be complicated. It's not. Lemon peel stitch is in this first single crochet that we're starting in. You're going to do a single crochet. And then in the next stitch, you're going to do a double crochet. And a double crochet is yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. By the way, as you see, we're not doing front loop or back loop only. For here on out, we're going through both. So the next stitch is going to be a single crochet, and you're going to go through both loops to do that single crochet. Then you're going to do the double crochet. That's all this round is. Single crochet and a double crochet. It may have another name for it. I don't know. I know it is the lemon peel stitch. Don't know why it's called the lemon peel stitch. It has a little bit of a texture to it. A little bit of a texture when you finish. Which is why I chose to do this pattern with this stitch. So a single, and then a double, and a single, and then a double. It's that simple, guys. Single crochet, double crochet, and let me stop here a minute and see if you can tell why it's called the lemon peel stitch. See it how it gives it a little bit of a bump? It just gives it a little bit of a texture when you're working it, and that's why, you know, I chose to do this this stitch for this, you know, in this pattern, just to give it that little bit of a texture while you're working it. So this is actually going to be the outside of your basket. It looks like you're working it backwards, but you're not. It's like the outside of the basket, and you can see where doing that back loop only kind of automatically brings it up and gives it, you know, starts working the side. So we're going to continue this around doing this lemon peel stitch of a single crochet and then a double crochet, and you're going to go around in each stitch. One single, the next stitch you're going to do one double, you're going to go all the way around. You're going to go straight around the corners. You're not doing any more increases in any of the corners. And like I said, you're going to continue this until it gets up to the height you want it to be. So pause the video here. I can't tell you how many rows I'm going to do because I'll figure it out when I get it where I want it. And same with you guys. Just go ahead and get this done until you get it to the height that you want it, depending on what size you made it. And once you get it to the height, now, okay, so let me stop and tell you, not to the total height you want unless you're doing just one color. You're going to want to factor in that you're going to be doing 3 more rows in the different color. As you can see here, 3 more rows in the different color. So you're going to want to go up as many rows as you want, taking into consideration that you're going to do 3 more rows in a different color. So go ahead and do that, and then come back together when you get it to that desired height. And well, let me just tell you this. Let me just give you this. So if I'm doing, coming up my side, just consider that you've got about an extra 1.5 inches to what you want. So if you're coming up the side and you're going to want it to be a total of, let's just say a total of 4 inches high, then you're going to want to get it until you till you have about 1.5 inches left. So you're going to want to do, what is that, 2.5 inches up, and then leave you an extra 1.5 inches. But just eyeball it, and if you need to put an extra row of a different color, you can do that. Your project, you're going to do it how you want it. So go ahead and pause the video here. Do your lemon peel stitch all the way around until you get it to the height that you want it, and we will come back and I'll show you how to change colors and continue with lemon peels and make the handle, and then finish off your basket. So pause it here and we'll come back. Okay, we have come up to the last stitch, hooked up in my yarn here, cord. In this row, I did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. And I think it's at the height I want it to be before I change color. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in my secondary color. And to do that, in the last stitch where the stitch marker was, you're going to complete it with, we did a double crochet, now I'm going to do a single crochet. So I'm going to do a half of a single crochet, yarn over, pull it through, 2 loops on your hook. Now I'm going to add in my secondary color, which in this case is this wine color. So I'm going to add that in, pull it through, and we're going to tie the tail of the new color to the color that we were just doing. I'm going to put a knot there. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I am going to work over the tail of the color we were just using as I'm going my round around, my first round around, and then when I come to the end, I'm going to work over this part of the tail. The reason I do that is because it's macrame cord, it's just a little thick to do both of them together. So we're going to go ahead and work around. We did a single crochet, so now we're going to do a double crochet, and a single crochet, and a double crochet, and a single crochet. This is continuing with the lemon peel stitch, and a double crochet, and a single crochet, and I'm going to stop there. I'm going to give this tail of this green a good tug. Too much, you don't want to pull it up too taut. I'm going to snip that off. We are done with the green, or whatever your primary color was. Now I'm going to continue the working a single crochet and double crochet, continuing with this lemon peel stitch all the way around the top of this basket for 1 row. And you can pause the video here, and I'm going to come back to the video when I get around to here, about this point, when I'm ready to start weaving this end. And then after we finish this round, we are going to determine where to put our handles, which will be created in the next round. So go ahead and pause the video and go ahead, continue to do a round of the lemon peel stitch until you come to where your tail is, and then we'll meet back together. Okay, we're back around to the end where we're going to crochet over this tail. I want to mention something. In the beginning of the video when we were starting this, I was talking about the right side and the left side, or the wrong side. And I don't know why I did this, but I was saying that this inside was going to be the outside, and that's not correct. You want it to, just like you're working it, this is going to be the outside of the basket, and where you did your row of your round of back loop only, that gives it the little ledge, and it kind of gives it the base to stand on. So I was incorrect with that, and I apologize. But this is where we are with our basket. Now we're gonna crochet over this tail, and then we're going to stop and mark for our handles, because in the next round we're going to be doing our handles. So I stopped with the single crochet. We are going to do a double. Alexa, dismiss. Sorry, I had my alarms up. We stopped with a single crochet. We're going to do a double crochet. Now to crochet over this tail it's kind of a backwards thing. So you do it like, just crochet like you normally are. Just be careful to make sure you're pulling that tail up. And you're going to just crochet over it. So you got a double crochet. Now a single crochet. See, I'm ahead of the game. I had set my alarm last night for 7:30 this morning, and I am already up and busy and working on this basket. We're going to finish up this basket this morning. So double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, and a single. Now this is going to be a little fidgety because you've got to go through this and try to grab in that tail. So you see I went under to grab in that tail. Single. Take out your stitch marker. And this is going to be the last stitch in this round, which is a double tight, because this is where you had your knot because you tied it all in together. So that's why it's a little tight and fidgety. All right, now we're going to put our stitch marker in to mark this last stitch. But now we're going to stop here and we're going to put some shape to this basket and kind of, see the corners, kind of pinch up on the corners and pull it together so you know that's what the end is. And then we're going to figure out where we want these handles to be. So we're going to need 4 stitch markers for this. Sorry I didn't tell you in the beginning, but grab you another stitch marker if you can. And you're going to mark where you're going to want the handles to be. So you're going to, figure, okay, these are your corners. So let's just count across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've got your middle here. So let's go back 1, 2, 3, and then go over 1, 2, 3. Does that look big enough for hand? Let's do one more. Let's do one more. And again, it's just how you want it to be. What you're doing is you're marking where the beginning of the handle is going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And where the end of the handle is going to be. And then you can do your visualization on it. So this is the end of your basket. Of course, it's not going to be as square as that. So you're marking where you're going to want your handle to be. So this is going to be the size of your handle. Now you can make your handle larger. You can make your handle smaller. Just pull it in some if it's smaller, pull it out some. Let me just show you for reference. This is the handle that I did for the other end, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about the same size. So that's the size handle we're going to end up with. I know this basket is a little bit smaller, but I think it's going to be fine to give it a handle of that size. So from the end, we have come over from approximately where the end is, we have come over 1, 2, 3, put our place marker, stitch marker, and then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then another stitch marker. That's where our handle is going to be. Okay, now to try to copy this, mirror this on this other end, it's going to be a little bit difficult here because that's where you're, you're working. You're still working it there. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead, since it's where it's joining, let's go ahead. This is your stitch marker for where your row ended, and that's fine, but just so you got to have a better visualization, let's go ahead and start on the next round, and then we'll mark this handle here. So, and if yours is in a different location, you don't have to do this step yet. Continuing with the lemon peel stitch, single, double, single. Okay, I think that's got it out of the way enough. Now, let's come back to where now you can see better, pinch your corners, see better where your end is. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, put in your stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stitch marker. That's why I use the different colors, so you're not confusing which is going to be the handle. Did I do that evenly? Let's see. Let's just pull them together. No, I need to do this an extra. I think I need to put this stitch marker here. And let's see where that handle is going to be. I think that's going to work. I think that's going to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to crochet around using the lemon peel stitch. And we'll pause the video here. We'll continue the lemon peel stitch until we get not up on top of, but close to, maybe the stitch before the last stitch before the marker, stitch marker. And then I'll show you how to do the handles. So go ahead and continue down this side, and then we'll join back up when we get close to that stitch marker. Okay, we have come up to this first stitch marker. We're going to go ahead, I've just finished a double crochet, so I'm going to do a single crochet in this stitch marker. Take the stitch marker out in the space where the stitch marker is. Now, we're going to skip until we get to the next. So we're going to count how many stitches we're skipping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, we're skipping for this handle. It's going to depend on how you marked your handle, but for mine, we've done our single crochet, and then we're going to skip the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When we come back with we're going to do a single crochet again here, because that would have been where the pattern was, because I counted it out. I counted double, single, double, single, double, single, double, single. So it would have ended up being a single had we have gone all the way across. So we're going to skip 7 and then come back in and do a single here. So what do we do? Excuse me. Chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we're going to come over here. We've chained 7 where we've skipped. So we're going to take and where the stitch marker is, we're going to do a single crochet in this stitch. And we could stop it there and that be our handle, but no, we're not going to do that. I'm going to show you why. We're going to do one more row above it, and it'll complete the handle. So we've done a single. Now we're going to continue with our lemon peel stitch, a double, and a single. Do this all the way around. Well, not all the way around, but till you get to your next stitch marker. Pause the video here. Continue your lemon peel stitch until you get to the next stitch marker, and we'll come back together there. Okay, we're back around to the opposite end. And again, I don't know how the math worked out on this, but we had double crochet, and in this stitch marker, which you can discard, don't need it anymore, do a single crochet. Now again, just like the other end, you've done a single crochet, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches before the next stitch marker. So we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, I don't know, we have double just to show you. Okay, not only is that where the handle ends, but it also is the end of this round. So again, we're going to do like the other side. We're going to finish this round and add this handle, connect this handle with a single crochet. We will put the stitch marker back in because this is the end of this round. Now, we are going to continue the lemon peel stitch until you get back around to this handle. So continue along until you get to about the stitch before where we made the handle. Then we'll come back together and I'll show you how to complete the handle. Okay, we've come up to our handle. I've done a double crochet. I'm going to do a single crochet. Last stitch before the chain. Then in this first chain, we'll do a double crochet. We are going to continue with this lemon peel stitch. So a double. Then in the next chain, do a single. In the next chain, get some more cord. Do a double. In the next chain, do a single. This does take a little bit longer, for me anyway, using the macrame cord than it does regular yarn, because it's just harder to work with my old decrepit muscles. You have to work it. It takes a little bit extra for me to work it. So in this last one, we're going to do a double crochet. And my last one, your handle may be a different size than mine. So we have finished over this chain to make this handle using the same lemon peel stitch. Now we just did a double, we're gonna do a single crochet here. And then we're gonna continue down the other side of the basket, the other side of the basket. Continuing with our lemon peel stitch of a single, then a double, then a single, then a double. And you can pause the video and we will meet up when we get down to the beginning of the next handle. Okay, here we are at the end, the second handle and the end of this basket. So again, I've ended up with a double crochet. We're gonna do a single crochet in this last stitch here before we hit the chain. Then we're gonna do, in the first chain, a double crochet, just continuing with the lemon peel stitch pattern. Single crochet in the next. Double crochet in the next. Single crochet in the next, double crochet in the next, single crochet in the next, and double crochet in the next. And then we're going to do a single crochet here. Then we're going to finish it off with a slip stitch. Cut your yarn, pull it through, give it a good tug. Now, this is a little tricky, getting this darning needle thread with this macrame cord sometimes because it's so thick. Just be patient with it. And look, we did it. So we're gonna go to the inside here, and because it's macrame cord and it's thicker, it's gonna have a little bit of a ridge. So to try to prevent that, I'm gonna come in through the back stitch here, just one time, pull that through. See how it pulls it down? Then I'm gonna come through the back stitch in the next stitch from the opposite direction and pull that through, and that just kind of pulls it tight. Now I'm gonna come down here to this stitch here. This is on the inside of the basket. Pull it through. Not all the way. It's a little tight, but you want to be careful not to pull your string all the way out either. Then I'm going to put it back through to make a knot, put it back through that loop there to make a knot. And that just kind of levels it out, evens it out a little bit. Now we're going to weave in these ends. Go through one direction. Like I said, it's a little tight. And my grip isn't great. Pliers, pliers, please. But I'll get it. Just bear with me. Oh, okay. Wow. That really is tight. Muscles don't want to do this morning. But you see you get the picture. Pull it through, and I'm determined. I'm going to do it. There we go. Now, I'm going to, since I pulled it out, I am going to rethread it because you know how OCD I am about my stuff. This is not going to be thrown in the wash machine. It's not going to get a lot of wear or tear. It's just a decorative thing. So if I can get this threaded again, I am going to attempt to pull it through one last time. Now, I doubt you're going to have the trouble I'm having. I'm glad this is at the end of the video. You've already done it, so it's not going to discourage you from doing this project. It's me, guys. I have a muscle situation. So, but I don't let it stop me from having fun and doing things. So I'm going to go through, I'm just going to go down this way, I think. This is going to be my last run through. I'm going to try to not split give it a good even thing there, so it's a little bit easier. You have to laugh, guys. You just have to laugh at stuff like this. Just like my video, just because you're getting a good laugh while you're watching this. There we go. See? Okay, we pulled that through. You are not going to having the problems I'm having, I promise. So cut that. See, even cutting it is hard for me. There we go. Okay. Look at that. We have finished our basket. Now this macrame cord that I use is 100% cotton. And you can use either 3mm or 5mm to do this. And you're going to have to reshape it a little bit once you get it done and get it how you like it. But look how these handles turned out. And I really like this lemon peel stitch. I think it gives it some nice texture and a good look. So there is your completed basket. You know, baskets can be used for so many different things. I like making baskets. I'm going to do a tutorial for a square one and a round one. So you can do rectangle, square, or round using macrame cord. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I appreciate you watching it along with me while we're doing this tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel. I am fairly new to YouTube, and I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. And, you know, give me a like, give me some love. Leave me some comments. And anything you would like to see a tutorial on, please leave it in the comments. I do read my comments and respond to them. So any suggestions you have for future tutorials, please leave it in the comments, and I will see what we can do to get that done. I have ideas for several coming up. Like I said, I'm going to do a couple more baskets, and I've got a market bag that I'm gonna do a tutorial for. So just keep watching, subscribe and like, And thank you for joining us. And as always, happy crocheting.